farms of sugarcane, stretching endlessly in western Maharashtra. It is difficult to imagine that just a few miles from here lies the dry, parched land of Latur. In fact, Latur feeds the sugarcane fields of western Maharashtra with migrant agricultural labor. The agricultural laborers who come to work here are Dalits, formerly known as untouchables. In 21st century India, the Dalits still face discrimination at various levels, from access to education and healthcare, to where they can live and what jobs they can hold. Buried under these sweet green fields of sugarcane lies a bitter story of discrimination and survival. About 600,000 such agricultural laborers migrate every year from central and eastern Maharashtra to the sugarcane belt of the western region. With no options in their own drought-prone land and banished from livelihoods meant for the upper castes, the Dalit sons and daughters of Latur are resigned to becoming just a pair of hands in these fields. A pair of hands with no dreams, no aspirations, no identity, no future. Often the migrant laborers take their children along to work the fields. These children who migrate with their parents end up in unsafe, unhealthy shacks, which can barely be called home. Their world is now about hard labor, unemployment, and survival. Schooling and education are distant dreams. The cracks in the hard and rigid land back home run so deep that they have divided even the hearts of the people living on it. The high caste and the low, the moneyed and the poor. With the earning members far away, the small voice of the Dalit community had, after years of struggle, become weaker still. Schools closed down. Health systems break down. This is not just the story of Latur. 59 talukas across Maharashtra have a similar story to tell. However, over the last few years, about 65 villages have been abuzz with a novel tune.
खरंच मला काय कळत नाही का?
मला शाळेत का जाऊ देत नाहीत?
माझं कुणी ऐकत का नाही? माझं कुणी ऐकणार आहे का?
मला माझ्या प्रश्नाची उत्तरे मिळतील का?
These are not the nursery rhymes of children. These are the insistent questions of the children of overworked fathers and underage, anemic mothers. These are new questions, new demands, supported by organizations like CRY and KMA-GVS through their Bal Haq Abhiyan that has been active in these 65 villages. These are demands for nutritious food, clean water, opportunity, and the right to choose the life one wants to live.
सांगा माझ्या बापाला रण सांगा माझ्या माईला दाडू नका कामाला रण जाऊ द्या मला शाळेला सांगा माझ्या बापाला रण सांगा माझ्या माईला
And so, 12-year-old Shonali in Bhandarwadi village stood up one day to ask, why did she not get a scholarship, even though she deserved it? The scholarship was the only way she could continue school. Was it because she was a girl, born to a Dalit family, the lowest in the social order? And was she to become, against her will, the same nameless, faceless pair of hands that generations before her had been? Before the school authorities could squash her soft but indignant voice, a whole group of tiny voices joined the chorus, and they carried her question right to the top of the bureaucratic mountain. It took a while, but ultimately, the scholarship found the rightful scholar.
वय माझं शिक्षणाचं अमुक्ती खेळण्या बागण्याचं नाही कामाला जायचं कसं माझ्या भविष्याचं वय माझं शिक्षणाचं मुक्त खेळण्या बागण्याचं नाही कामाला जायचं कसं माझ्या भविष्याचं कसं माझ्या हिरावून घेऊ नका माझ्या साऱ्या हक्काला दाडू नका कामाला रण जाऊ द्या मला शाळेला
These tiny voices have discovered the sheer force when they are raised together. Across 40 such Balgarts, they come together more often and have become the spirit of Balhak Abhiyan. They hold meetings where they reinvent the concept of consensus, democracy and empowerment. And then they go ahead and redeem a little bit of their lives. At Bhandarwadi, they convinced the Sarpanch to allow them access to the Samaj Mandir to conduct their meetings. Instead of letting the community hall be used only by the village elders to play cards.
ऊस तोडीच्या कामाला बायका पोरं संगतीला आई बाबांच्या संगतीला पोरं लागली हो कामाला ऊस तोडीच्या कामाला बायका पोरं संगतीला आई बाबाच्या संगतीला पोरं लागली हो कामाला पोरं लागली हो शेतामध्ये माझा बाप लावतो मला कामाला दाडू नका कामाला रण जाऊ द्या मला शाळेला
Further away, in Kajal Hiparga village, Pooja, Taterao, Sandeep and Pranali heard that computers are changing the lives of people across the world. Why couldn't they access a computer? Why should they cut sugarcane instead? When they did not get a satisfying answer, they knocked at the doors of the headmaster. When that did not work, they approached the village sarpanch and the block development officer and the education officer. And finally, Computers are now part of the curriculum of the 7th grade.
माझ्या अडाणी बापाला हक्क सांगा समाजाला हक्क बालकांचे सारे आता मागू सरकाराला माझ्या अडाणी बापाला हक्क सांगा समाजाला हक्क बालकांचे सारे आता मागू सरकाराला आता मागू बाल हक्क अभियानानं लढू अन्यायाला दाडू नका कामाला रण जाऊ द्या मला शाळेला
Discrimination may be a very big word. Chances are, these children will not be able to translate it for you. But recently, the Savitribai Phule Balgat at Niwala stood up and questioned the prejudices of the teachers in the midday meal. Why can't all the children eat together? Be served together, they asked.
सांगा माझ्या बापाला रण सांगा माझ्या माईला सांगा माझ्या बापाला रण सांगा माझ्या माईला
The Savitribai Phule Balgat also confronted the local PDS shop dealer. They wanted to know why their families should pay twice the actual price of rice and sugar at the public distribution outlet. When last heard of, the PDS shop owner had shut shop and absconded out of fear. Their sheer, unbridled enthusiasm is pulling down the barriers. They are showing the way to the adults, resigned to their fate, telling them to rise and take their destiny in their own hands. And slowly, the land of Latur is yielding. One day, this dry, parched land too will be green.
सांगा माझ्या बापाला रण सांगा माझ्या माईला दाडू नका कामाला रण जाऊ द्या मला शाळेला सांगा माझ्या बापाला रण सांगा माझ्या माईला सांगा माझ्या बापाला रण सांगा माझ्या माईला